Talk about the games happened on November 19th. We had 5 games. Let's talk about it. The first game, the Toronto Raptors lose to the Atlanta Hawks, 120 to 124. OG Anunoby, what a game! This game went overtime. He played 42 minutes. Okay, everything looks really good for OG. Everything's looking up. But again, if you can get a top 15 player or top 20 player, I would do it. He right now he's having a lot of usage with Siakam out, and he's just still like 18th ranked player, averaging 2.5 steals. That's probably too high. Maybe getting 1.8 rest of the season. That's gonna drop in a few spots. Because if you look at his other counting stats, he doesn't really provide all that much. And you look at all the other guys inside that top 20, right? You get Miles Turner as a specialist blocks, right? But we know he can block close to 3 shots a game, right? We know Dejounte Murray, the number. So if you can get a guy that gets a lot of counting stats, I would do it. Because really, he give you steals, but a lot of efficiency as well. Thaddeus Young, we should also stream him. What a game from him! 4 steals, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. This guy has been around forever. When he was with the Indiana Pacers, he was consistently top 50, 60 player, averaging like 1.67 steals, and just doesn't turn the ball over. And then he just top 60 every single year, top 60, top 70. So it's still good to see him playing huge minutes with everybody out. Even for this game, even Chris Boucher was out due to sickness. Wow, Hernan Gomez started at the center. It's not making any sense now. But Scotty Barnes played 45 minutes. Great. All these guys played super well. Fred VanVleet didn't shoot the ball well. He actually played the worst. But Gary Trent Jr. will come back. Pascal Siakam will be back. Once those guys come back, I think a few guys might lose out a few shots or usage. Scotty Barnes took 29 field goals. My God. For the Atlanta Hawks, John Collins right now is in some trade talks. 34 minutes, 6 personal fouls. Played pretty bad, 11 rebounds. Now you just hold, right? You're not gonna sell him now. You can try to buy low, but how much? So you just have to hold. Hope he gets traded, because if he goes to a different team, he's motivated. Play 35 minutes, he could be a top 30 player. He could average 20 points and 10 rebounds with good efficiency and some blocks. DeAndre Hunter, 22 points, not bad. Went to the free throw line 14 times, but again, no defensive stats. Trey, beautiful game, 12 assists, 33 points. And while Dejounte Murray had a below average game, but again, both guys are beasts. Let's go to the next game. The Orlando Magic barely lost to the Indiana Pacers. Paolo Banchero has been out. There's no point rushing him back with the ankle issues, but he'll be back. I think rest of the season he should be looking pretty good, averaging 20 points and 8 rebounds. I think that's very, very doable for him. So Kiki could be a streamer just for defense, had 2 steals here, but he doesn't really provide much else at this point. Bobo, 2 blocks, very, very solid, and 11 rebounds and 22 points. Wow. Bobo, you see the waiver pickup of the year right now? I think so. Right now, it's got to be him, but he's just not providing. I just worry about his long-term value when Magic, all the guys start coming back, all the guards. What's going to happen with his minutes? Because they're basically playing him power forward right now, right? Wendell Carter Jr. was out, so Mo Bamba also got 33 minutes. We could stream him if Wendell Carter Jr. continues to be out. So I don't know what's going to happen with his minutes. Jalen Suggs, in the meanwhile, is also a must roster. But God knows when those guards are coming back. Franz Wagner also played very, very well, 29 points. Maybe a bit sell high for Franz Wagner. With all the guys out, he's been getting, some usage boost. Oh, he's only just a 94th ranked player, so never mind. He's really not getting a lot of defensive stats. The free throw is really nice, 87%, and the points is really nice, but not much else at the moment. And we look at the Pacers. Buddy Hield, 30 minutes, 15 points, yeah, not bad. 5 threes, getting the defensive stat. Jalen Smith, after a huge game last time around, just 25 minutes here, but 14 and 5 is okay. Could be a hold in. Miles Turner, huge minutes, 34 minutes. His minutes is inconsistent. I think most nights he's playing 28, 29 minutes. He really had it going offensively, and you know, this is his best offensive year so far in his career. Averaging 18 points and 9 rebounds. He usually doesn't grab a lot of rebounds. But again, like he's mainly majority of his value comes from the blocks. But if he can average 18 points and 9 rebounds, that would be huge. Over the years, realistically, you look at him as a 13, 14 points guy, 7 rebounds. But this year is a little bit different. Tyrese Haliburton hurt his ankle. Doesn't matter. Played today, 14 assists, 2 assists, 3 rebounds. Yeah, this guy's gonna be top 10 player in the next 10 years, I think. In the next 10 years. His game in fantasy is just so good, so good. Efficiency is good, doesn't really turn the ball over that much, gets so many assists and defensive stats, just so good in fantasy. And we're maybe thinking about streaming TJ McConnell, but now we know that Tyrese is not going to miss a single game, so we should move on. If we have any thoughts about picking up TJ McConnell. All right, the next game. Really good win for the Timberwolves, 112-109 at Sixers. That's not easy to do. Rudy Gobert had 5 fouls while you play against Joel Embiid. That happens sometimes. 13 rebounds, not bad. Cat struggled offensively. 12 points, 8 rebounds. But this year Cat, over the years he's always been a top 10 player. This year maybe top 20. A little bit drop off, but I think at least he should be scoring more, right? With Rudy Gobert, we expect him to not grab that many rebounds, not block that many shots, because you're not protecting the rim that much if you're the power forward. But still, like the overall ranking for Karl Anthony Towns is, he's still top 20, so it's fine. Anthony Edwards struggled from the field again, but 25 points because he went to the free throw line 9 times. Again, he's also one of the disappointment of the year so far. He's getting drafted in the 2nd or 3rd round. I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe he will have a stretch where he goes off. D'Lo played also okay, but he's so hot and cold. A guy that I'll try to sell, do a 2-for-1 whenever he has a good stretch. For the Sixers, Joel Embiid, if you look at the box score, he only took 15 shots. So it'd be like, okay, maybe he got 22, 23 points, but he had 32 because he had 20 free throws. 6 turnovers, 3 steals. I mean, Joel Embiid is in the next month, because Tyrese Maxey is also going to miss a couple weeks, and Harden maybe is a week or 2 away. So Joel Embiid in the next, he's going to have crazy usage. DeAnthony Melton is a must roster. You just have to roster him. I know he struggled a little bit, but games like this, you ask yourself, why did I drop him? 5 steals and a block, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, 19 points. And the minutes is there. Shake Milton also. There's no guards left on this team. Until Harden comes back, I think Shake Milton is also a must roster. He's not going to do this every game, but he should be playing over 30 minutes. Have a little bit upside, right? He will have games where he can go for 20 points with 4 threes, 5 threes. If you're looking for those categories, you should definitely grab him. Let's go to the next game. The Utah Jazz, they just keep winning. They just keep winning. 118-113. Lauri Markkanen, after the crazy game, played well again. 23 points and 10 rebounds with 3 threes. But one area he needs to improve is getting the defensive stat. In fantasy, at least. In real life, he's been balling. But in order for him to move even higher in the rankings, right now he could be a top 25, top 30 player, but to be like top 10, top 15, you got to be getting those defensive stats. Kelly Olynyk, 3 blocks. Didn't really shoot that much, but still fine. Had 3 blocks here and 4 assists. Jared Vanderbilt, the minutes is kept around 28 to 30 minutes. Still a must roster player. 9 rebounds and no defensive stats here. Oh, and Mike Conley got hurt. Had a knee injury, so let's see how bad it is. Hopefully he comes back. But Malik Beasley, then we should look at Malik Beasley, right? Or Colin Sexton. And even with Mike Conley playing 9 minutes, majority of minutes went to Taylor Horton Tucker, which is interesting. I think Malik Beasley now, with Mike Conley out, I think he also plays super well here. Points and threes guy, take a flyer on him. Not take a flyer, grab him, stream him at least. Colin Sexton also maybe. We'll see what happens next game with the minutes, and also depend on their schedule, and also how bad the injury is for Mike Conley. But a couple guys that we need to pay attention to on this Utah Jazz team because they do have some upside, like Malik Beasley, right? He could be a top 50, 60 player, given the opportunity. Colin Sexton, maybe more of top 80 player. Give him 30 minutes a night. For the Portland Trailblazers, oh yeah, Damian Lillard. Just, it's like Harden. 2 years ago, this guy doesn't get hurt. Harden does not get hurt. On the Rockets, play 82 games, no problem. Average 35 points. And now, right, last year he had a groin injury, basically shut down for the season. Today, a calf. So hopefully he can come back, recover. He went 1 for 12 on 3. Obviously a really bad game. But with Damian Lillard out, that really helps Fernie Simons. But maybe Justice Winslow gets a few minutes. If you're punting efficiencies, sure. Like you can take a look at him. And Justice Winslow, maybe he gets a few minutes. And if Damian Lillard is out, that also helps Jeremy Grant to get a few more shots. Fernie Simons played really well here, actually. 4 steals and a block. He's a guy that doesn't get any defensive stats. But this is obviously really good. Yusuf Nurkic played just 27 minutes, had some foul trouble. 18-7 and a steal is not bad. Not bad at all. Went 8 for 10 from the field. Jeremy Grant, 14 points, 2 steals and 2 blocks. Okay. Not bad. And Josh Hart, same thing. Just solid numbers. And Portland this year, they're winning games, right? For sure, the Blazers, the Utah Jazz, they are the 2 surprises in the Western Conference so far. They're 1-2 pretty much. Grizzlies is also 10-6. But hopefully Dame is not too serious. But once this type of issues happens, what I would do is like if Dame comes back, goes out for 40 points, I'll try to sell him. Yeah, because you just don't know if it's gonna happen again. It's gonna linger throughout the season. It's a pain, right? You would rather get maybe Damian Lillard plus somebody for Jason Tatum, right? For a healthier guy, younger guy, that's what I much prefer. All right, the last game of the night, the San Antonio Spurs. They got 5 games this week, but a lot of guys, they're doing a lot of rest. So really, they're getting maybe 4 games out. Like Devin Vassell was resting this game. Keldon Johnson rested the game before. And nobody played over 30 minutes. So that's the problem with Spurs is that even though the guys are young, even though they're not competing anything, it doesn't matter. Popovich just doesn't. Like you can make an argument, okay, Tim Duncan at the time maybe with over 30, all right? But all these guys are super young. I don't know if it's really necessary to rest some of these guys, but he did. Over here, this game, nobody played over 30 minutes. Nothing really stands out. I mean, Trey Jones' 10 assists is really, really nice. Pirtle made his free throws. Jeremy Sochan had 7 turnovers. But Charles Bassey came in, played 22 minutes, had no blocks, grabbed 9 rebounds. So, I mean, some disappointing performances from some of the Spurs guys if you're expecting them to play all 5. Maybe Trey Jones did, or Pirtle. But yeah, just a lot of rest. And for the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard, the big news is he came back, played 22 minutes. Okay. He played over 20 minutes and, it looks like he suffered a setback earlier in the season. Looks fine, but who knows, might take him too long to play 30 minutes. Paul George also had a really good 15 minutes, had 5 threes and 21 points, and left the game with what did Paul George do? Looks like he's fine. He had a knee issue, but it was mainly for minutes issue reasons. So he's listed probable next game. Zubac with Kawhi Leonard back took just 1 shot. Norman Powell absolutely went off. Sure, like you could try to sell him. But yeah, this Clippers squad is pretty boring to talk about. That's it, guys. I will see you tomorrow.